Welcome, beautiful souls, to this beautiful yoga practice to bring your body into a place of ease, relaxation, just bringing a gentleness back into the body, balancing the nervous system. So this practice really is about really being with yourself, being with your breath, and being with the feelings that your body are trying to express to you and accommodating to that. So we're not pushing past anything, we're just really accommodating to where we feel comfortable today. Really bringing in that balance, letting the body know that we are listening and that we will do what we need to do to make sure it feels comfortable. So you may find that today you want to have a block. If you don't have a block, you can always use like a thick, hard covered book. You may want to have a strap, or as well, you may want to have a bolster. I will probably be using all these things, just really listening and tuning into my body and bringing them in whenever I feel I need to, whenever I feel called to do so. Because it's not about looking pretty, it is about being with yourself, honouring yourself, and you will develop from there. When you're trying to look pretty and get into the poses, then you're not honouring yourself, you're doing it for the external validation. And we're really bringing ourselves inwards, this practice, to honour ourselves in where we are right now. So we're going to start in child's pose. So I haven't even rolled out my yoga mat. I am using this because it is soft, it is gentle, and it's just an extra sort of level of comfort and what I'm needing as I go within. And this practice is very good for slowly moving energy through the body, as well as when you come to the time of the month, it is a bit of a yin yoga practice that we are moving into. So coming into child's pose, coming onto your knees and just curving over, bringing your head down, hands come behind you, palms face upwards as you come down to meet your mat, forehead on the ground, and just kind of bring in your shoulders, allowing them to slump that little bit as you bring a deep comfort into where you are. Connecting with your breath, breathing in and out through your nose. And maybe you feel called to come into extended child's pose, bringing your knees into a V shape, your big toes touching at the back, as you just slowly allow yourself to come down to the mat, wherever feels comfortable. And maybe you're just here and you want to rest here. Maybe you want a block or a bolster to bring in just to relax onto. Find your perfect today. And don't forget that you can also move here. Maybe there's a certain side that needs a little extra attention. Maybe you need to move back and forth, finding this balance between what feels good . And then you're going to walk the hands back up and we're going to come through to a seated position. So we're going to elegantly come onto our bums. We're going to bring our feet directly out in front of us. So we are anchoring down into the sit bones. Our legs are coming together, our ankles touching, our feet are touching, and we pull our feet back towards our face. Our palms of our hands are coming right down by the sit bones as we push up, straightening the back, bringing the shoulders away from the ears. Continue to pull your feet towards your face. And maybe you start to feel a pull in your hamstrings here, and you can stay here. But if you want to find a deeper stretch, a more intense stretch, then on an inhale, bring your hands up above your head and slowly begin to fold forwards. Now maybe you can fold all the way down, and that's perfect. You do what you can do. For me, I am not able to do that yet. It's still something I am working on. So I feel the pull here, so I bring my hands down to here, and I can just hold the space of my leg here, or I could bring in a strap and feel keeping the back nice and straight. We're not curving until we get halfway, so you want to have a nice straight back for as far as you can go. And when using the strap as well, we want our arms still to be straight. We are not pulling and just like to get into the shape. You want to keep it nice and straight and just move your hands a little bit more down the strap to make sure we are keeping the perfect sort of stretch within the body in the right places. And just hang out here, and maybe with every exhale, you're able to just drop a little bit further down into your stretch. If you find this stretch is too much as it is, then you can find a block or fold a blanket to prop under your bum, and that will bring your hips up higher so you have not got quite as much as an intense stretch. And that can be even sitting here. You could prop that under your bum and then find a nice little stretch where you are. Pulling that chest towards the feet if you're not fully able to bend down into this stretch. As you kind of open, you're pulling the shoulders back, opening the chest as you find your space. Pushing those calves down into the ground, the sit bones, and your feet towards your face. Connecting with your breath. Coming out of this stretch, just gently allow yourself to come back up. And from here, you're going to have your right leg out at a 45-degree angle. You're going to bring your left foot, the sole of the foot comes into the groin, and you want to have the knee pushing down as your anchor as well. So your right leg is pushing down into the ground. Your right foot is being flexed towards your face again to really keep that anchor and strength in the leg. If your knee is up here and you're struggling to have that push down for the extra anchor, again you can bring in the block here if that is more comfortable. And from here, we are not twisting at the hips, we're going to be twisting from the ribs. So we can have a nice straight back to start with, and you'll see this all the way through this practice today. Really practicing that elongation of the spine, keeping that space between everything, keeping energy flowing through you, keeping that balance. So from here we can bring our arms up on an inhale, twist at the ribs, and just like we did on the forward fold just now, coming down towards your foot and finding your space of comfort. And we're going to hang out here. So for me, again, I will bring in the strap. And again, in this position, if it's too much of a stretch, you can have a block under your bum or a blanket just to lift your hips. Keep pushing that left foot into the groin. those shoulders open, pushing towards your back, opening the chest. One more breath here. And coming back up. And this time we are going to be doing a side stretch into the same. So keeping your legs exactly as they are. Taking a breath in. Bringing your arms up above. Bringing your right arm just to glaze as we start to stretch into this side stretch. And bringing your left arm over to stretch, and maybe you can grab the outer edge or even the inner edge of your right foot as you bring your arm up and over to find your side stretch. Wherever feels comfortable, wherever you feel that tug or pull within the muscles. Pushing the knee down into the ground, keeping that anchor. Making sure your chest stays open and you're not curving into it. We are pulling up and out, creating space. Keeping your right foot flexed towards your face. Two more breaths here. Coming up and out. Oh, that's a deep stretch for me. And then we're going to switch over to the other leg. So bringing your right leg in as you take your left leg out. Coming out to a 45-degree angle. Finding your space, pushing your right foot now into your groin. Knee coming down to meet the ground, or put a block there if it's easier to push into. Taking a breath, breathing in as we bring our arms up above the head, twisting the ribs towards your left leg, folding down with a nice straight back until you get about halfway as you come into a curve. You may find it's easier to do one leg than the other, and that's perfectly okay. Just breathing into the space, noticing where you feel it in your stretch, and then focusing your attention onto that space, breathing into that area, and with every exhale sinking into the stretch a little bit more. One more breath. And coming back up, to seat at the top. As we then inhale, bringing the arms up above the head again, and this time coming into our side stretch, letting our left arm come down to the leg and glide down as we take our stretch. Opening the chest, bringing that shoulder back so we can open this space. Keep pushing your right knee down to the ground or onto your block, as well as your left leg and your left knee down into the ground as your anchoring point, flexing those feet towards you. Taking 2 more breaths here. And then coming back up. As we move now into a bound angle. So here we are bringing our feet together, the soles of our feet together, and you can bring them in as far as feels comfortable. So you may be able to bring them in, your legs are really high up and you're feeling the stretch there, perfectly fine. Maybe you can find a little space to wiggle and they drop down a little bit more. So you can really kind of encase here with your feet and your hands, finding a nice little cup around the tops of your feet, your toes, and you pull in and open the chest once again as your shoulders drop down away from the ears. And just find this little space that feels great for you, really pulling up through the spine, sitting really tall, feeling that strength within yourself as you do this, feeling that balance within you, feeling that connection back with yourself, honouring yourself. You can either massage your feet here, so you can kind of push your elbows into your legs if that feels comfortable, to kind of find this space to massage your feet and open them up a little bit more, depending on your flexibility. Stretches that you feel called to take while you sit here, while you tune in with your body, tune in with its language. And then we're going to kind of just walk the feet out a little bit, just pushing them out a little bit. So we've got a wider area to be able to come into a forward fold. Now with this, if you're already feeling the stretch here, then stay where you are. If you would like more of an intense stretch, then just like we did earlier, you can hold onto your feet, keeping your back nice and straight as you start to come down, and your elbows almost can come in front of the legs as you take a forward fold here. If this is too much, again, you can prop with the block under your bum to bring your hips up higher. Or if you are like me, then sometimes I like to bring in my bolster here and just kind of find my space. And sometimes, not always, my head can get to the bolster and find a little bit more comfort as I sink into this pose. Take 3 more breaths. coming back out nice and slowly. You may want to bring your knees together and kind of push them together here. Maybe you want to stamp your feet out, straighten your legs, whatever feels like you need to do for a moment. And now we're going to come into the wide angle seated. So this is where we are going to bring both our legs out to, well, wherever you can take your legs. Mine do not go out as far as a lot of people. You have to find what feels good for you. So if your legs are just here, then that's okay. But if you would like to have a bit more of a stretch again, put a block onto your bum, and that will help to just take the ease and that intensity, will take the intensity out of the stretch to bring in some ease. And again, we are bringing our feet to come up facing ourselves. So we don't want to be like pointing outwards or pointing too far inwards. They're coming straight towards your knee in a nice straight line, pushing down, anchoring with the sit bones all the way through your legs. Really strong stance within this grounding energy. And again, we can just stay here if that is enough of a stretch for you, or we can bring our hands to the ground and slowly walk out. For me, this is my hardest pose to do, and what I personally like to do is to bring my bolster in and use it as much as I can. So I like to kind of prop it here and find until I feel is a nice space, and I like to put my head on it because I feel it's a bit more comfortable. So find your way of working here. So it just allows me to still have a stretch, but I'm not putting too much effort in that I can't relax into it. And you know, play around, do what feels good. Sometimes this is a nice sort of way of just feeling it. Also, I just feel like I'm having a hug, so you know, why would you not like it? But find this space for yourself. Maybe you can go all the way down and find a really nice balance across the floor, completely flat, and you bring your hands crossed over and rest your head on that. Maybe you put a block because you're nearly there and you rest your head on that. Maybe you can bring your hands, I can just about touch my toes, and maybe you can find that flat space on the ground as you anchor into your tootsies. I'm just not there yet, but one day, I can't even get comfortable now. Here we go. Remember to pull your shoulders away from your ears so you're not causing any tension within your shoulders and the tops of the back, your neck area. Connecting with your breath. Two more breaths. And then make your way back up. Bring in your legs in, and again you might want to just kind of have your hands underneath your knees to allow them to come back into this space. That feels good. Tap them out if that feels good. And then come into a seated position. So to finish this practice, we are going to come into a pranayama. We are going to do alternate nostril breathing. So this will really help to balance your body, your nervous system, and really bring you into a relaxed state. So the way that we do this as we use our right or left hand, whichever feels comfortable to you, but your thumb will come onto one nostril. Then you have the two fingers, your index finger and your middle finger, to rest on your third eye, and then you'll have your ring finger come down to the other nostril on the other side. And we will be alternating, so one finger will be on the nostril as you breathe in and out through the other, then we'll be switching to do the other side. So it's a very simple breath to do. I will demonstrate it in a minute. So thumb onto right nostril, fingers on third eye, and I'm going to breathe in through the left nostril. The ring finger goes down onto the nostril as I take the thumb off of the right nostril as I breathe out through that side. And then breathe in through that side. Thumb goes back down, ring finger comes off, breathe out through the other nostril. And then breathe in. Ring finger goes back down, thumb comes off, exhale through the right nostril. And we just continue that until I let you know when to stop. And when we stop, we will then be doing an inhale and holding the breath at the top. And then we will do another round and we will be exhaling and holding the breath at the end. And then we will close the practice. So thumb to right nostril, your index finger and middle finger to the third eye, and your ring finger ready for the left nostril. Leaving your left nostril open at the moment as we inhale, breathing in through the left. Ring finger down to the left, thumb off of the right, exhale. Inhale through the right. Thumb goes back on, ring finger off, exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Ring finger back down, thumb off, and continue. Inhale, hold at the top, Exhale. And then come in right back into it. Thumb to right nostril, index finger, middle finger to third eye, and your ring finger ready for the left side. Inhaling. Exhale. Exhale in fully and hold at the end. Inhaling. And a big release through the mouth. Just take a moment to sit in this energy. And maybe you notice one side you could inhale deeper, bigger breaths than the other side. And the left side is the feminine side, right side being the masculine. And maybe there's an indication of what you could work on. You can even do this breath and just use one nostril if you're wanting to clear one side, connect with one side more. Bringing your hands together at your chest. As you thank yourself for coming to this practice today, for honouring yourself and really listening to your body, allowing your nervous system time to relax, to rest and digest. And I thank you for being here with me today. Namaste.